Family, the proverb that we're going to take a look at today for our midweek encouragement has to do specifically with the relationship between a husband and a wife. Take a look at Proverbs 14, verse 1. The wisest of women builds her house, but folly with her own hands tears it down. I want you to imagine that a healthy relationship between a husband and a wife is like a stone wall of protection around the married couple. Now, when we are intentional about romance and when we work to promote an atmosphere of forgiveness, and when we are willing to make personal sacrifices for the good of the marriage, then we are adding stones to the wall of protection for our marriage. However, when we fight without resolving in forgiveness, and when we withhold romance in our relationship, and when we have an attitude of, well, I want what I want regardless of how it affects my marriage, then we are taking stones out of the wall of protection, and our relationship becomes vulnerable to the enemy's attack. Now, since this proverb is about a woman having wisdom in her marriage versus a woman being foolish in her marriage, I will relate a story from years back. I once knew a woman who, instead of investing her energy and time at home with her husband, she was secretly messaging guys who were not her husband. This was wrong. This was sin. And like most of us, we foolishly think that we can handle the sin in our life. We foolishly think that we will only go so far with our sin and won't cross a certain line we have determined to be out of bounds. But let me tell you something. Sin will take you farther than you ever thought you'd go, and it will cost you more than you ever thought you would have to pay. Well, that woman's messaging, as you can guess, led to other things. That wife took the stones in the wall of her marriage and with her own hands threw them on the ground and destroyed her marriage. Look at our proverb for this morning again. The wisest of women builds her house, but folly with her own hands tears it down. Whether you are a wife or a husband, this proverb for us today tells us to build the wall of protection for our marriage and beware of things that tear it down. Why would God want you to be purposeful about romance and forgiveness in your marriage? So that you can build a strong wall of protection for your marriage? Well, it's because God is the author of your marriage, and He sees your marriage as a blessing from Him to you because God loves you. Well, God bless you. I'll see you next time.